Good afternoon, Oak Grove. Happy Thursday. Welcome to another installment of our midweek content series here on the church's social media channels, where I just pop in to say hello and chat with you all in the middle of the week. Thank you for spending a few minutes of your Thursday, or whenever you get around to watching this, for joining me here. So I'm coming to you from the kitchen of the parsonage here today. And I'm doing that because I thought that it might be a good place where a couple of different things are in one spot that might help illustrate my point today. I am feeling very grateful on this Thursday afternoon for the things that I have. I am grateful for this roof over my head here, which you can actually see there's a little spot right up here, right about where my finger is pointing here, where Ken actually had to replace a little leak that popped in there months back. That was the result of a portion of the roof soffit that kind of got out of its position, and he was kind enough to climb up there and do that. But all kidding aside, I am grateful for that roof that is up there over my head. I am grateful for this light switch because it works right now because I have power. I am grateful for this running water here that turns on when I flip it. I am grateful right now for this functioning thermostat here, which is helping to keep the parsonage toasty since it's gotten chilly over the last couple days. I am thankful for the fact that, thanks to the fact that the power is working, my fridge is working. As you can see, it needs cleaned out very much at the moment. It's a little overstuffed, but I am grateful for the fact that the fridge is full and functioning. And if I head out the door, I am grateful for clear skies, sunshine, and calm winds. And the reason that I am coming to you with all of these things right now is the fact that over the last week, in the aftermath of the hurricane a week ago, and in anticipation of another hurricane coming last night, there were quite a few Oak Grovers that did reach out to me and told me, Pastor, I have family, I have friends living down in the affected areas. Last week's storm affected a lot more than just Florida, extended up into most of the heaviest damage, went up into Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina. North Carolina especially was hit very hard. This one was more of a direct hit last night onto our sisters and brothers in Florida. Caused me to especially think of a couple of Oak Grovers out there that I know are faithfully watching who are in our midst up here in Pittsburgh because they had to relocate after Hurricane Ian took their home from them a couple of years ago. And so I've been thinking about them a lot and what the weather reports lately on the national news have been making them think about. That's probably bringing up a lot of difficult memories there. And so I'm thinking a lot about storms, and I'm thinking a lot about all of the simple things that all of us up here are taking for granted today because we were not just hit with a hurricane last night. There are millions of people right now that wish very much that they had all of those things that I just showed you, the simple blessings in daily life of the fact that my lights come on, my fridge is powered, my furnace is powered, and that it's calm storms outside, or calm weather outside, and my roof ain't leaking over my head. We take those things for granted until they're taken from us. So, a number of Oak Grovers have reached out to me and told me that they've got family down there. I don't know if I have family down there anymore because I used to have family in the Tampa area, and I actually don't know if they are still down there or not. I used to have, I had a grandmother and an aunt and an uncle and two cousins down there. They have all moved or passed on except for one cousin who I've lost touch with. I don't know if he still lives down there or not. So our prayers are going to those folks right now. And I thought that I would read an appropriate story today in lieu of the events of last night. From the Gospel of Mark in chapter 4, that day when evening came, Jesus said to his disciples, "Let us go over to the other side." Leaving the crowd behind, they took him along just as he was in the boat. There were also other boats with him. A furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him and said to him, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" Jesus got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down, and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" They were terrified and asked each other, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey him." And so, this is a particularly poignant and powerful story for us on this morning because there were millions of people who prayed last night for the winds to very literally be stopped, and they didn't stop. Who prayed for the rain to stop, and it didn't stop. But the story is teaching us about faith. It is teaching us about trusting that God is going to be with us in the boat through the storm, and that God will see us to the other side of the storm. God never promised that there wouldn't be a storm when they entered the boat that day. And God never promised them that there wouldn't be more storms in their lives. But God only did promise that God would never leave them. Jesus rides in the boat with us. He is there alongside us when the wind and the waves start to rise. And he will see us safely to the other side, somehow or another. And the way that God does that is different for every person's faith story. But God will find a way to get us to the other side somehow. And so I thought that was a particularly appropriate story for us to hear today. And in the meantime, we sit here frustrated because we want to do something. We want to help. Well, if you want to help, modern technology makes that easier than it's ever been. All you do is go to your web browser, pick up your phone. I know it's right there in your pocket. Grab your tablet, grab your laptop. Navigate to the websites for the American Red Cross, navigate to the website for the Salvation Army, or navigate to the website for our own Lutheran disaster response here in the ELCA. And they all have resources on there for how you can donate and how your funds, how your support, your aid can go directly to hurricane victims. We feel during moments like this when natural evils like this happen and there is human suffering in the world, and we say, darn it, I wish there was something I could do about it. Well, there are things that we can do. So if you're sitting there feeling like you need to take some action, there's some action we can take right here, right now, today, with the press of a few buttons, a few taps, a few clicks on our screen. We can do something. So there's that option. And of course, as we always have done and always will continue to do, we will continue to pray for those affected as well. So that's what I got for you this week, Oak Grove. God will help calm the storms of our hearts one way or another, and we can serve those around us who have been hit by heartache and tragedy. I will see you all in worship this Sunday. Thank you. Take care and have a great week.